2019 hasn't been the best for K-pop, let's be honest. MONSTA X is one of the groups that is taking on the American market and doing well, but that all came crashing down. Today we're going to explain and bring together all the information about why Wonho left, the photos allegedly being spread, and the relationship about another MONSTA X member, Shownu. Starting with how MONSTA X grew in K-pop, what happened, and more importantly, what will happen to them. But before looking forward, I always like to look back. At the tail end of 2014, Starship Entertainment launched their first survival show. They wanted to find their next boy group to debut. The show, titled No Mercy, aired with 13 trainees from Starship that would be whittled down to 7. The final group consisting of Shownu, minhyuk, kihyun, hyungwon, jooheon, and Wonho. They were all set to debut together. Later, this new group got its name, MONSTA X. That means monsters conquering the K-pop scene. This is something really new to come out of Starship, with their biggest group being Sistar, who were more mature and sexy, and the rest of their artists at the time being ballad singers and a couple rappers. MONSTA X would show their colors debuting in 2015 with Trespass. Bursting at the seams with pure energy, MONSTA X broke into K-pop. Just in the debut, you can tell what MONSTA X were all about, bringing charisma, dance, and competitiveness to the table. With those qualities, MONSTA X performed well in Korea, but surprisingly, from the get-go, MONSTA X already had an international presence. This rookie boy group landed 14th on Billboard's World Digital Songs chart, and with the rap powerhouse of jooheon and it creates what I think is MONSTA X's unique sound. Later in the fall, MONSTA X maintained the debut momentum with the new release, Rush. Doubling in sales, MONSTA X was on the rise in their first year. Months later, Los Angeles welcomed these new boys as MONSTA X made their first ever US appearance at KCON 2015. KCON is probably a fantastic stepping stone for any new group coming out. And at the end of the year, MONSTA X would prove their staying power by winning the Next Generation Artist Award at MAMA 2015, an award that perfectly described what MONSTA X would become. Building on a red-hot rookie year, MONSTA X needed to step it up, and they did. All In is a part of a large-scale project called The Clan. This music video was actually directed by award-winning director Shin Dong-kyo. This story-based music video created a magnificent world of a cult seeking out rebellion and freedom. All of this effort added up to MONSTA X debuting on Billboard's World Album Chart at number 5 and staying there for 4 weeks. Starship then announced MONSTA X will have their first solo concert. Once on sale, tickets completely sold out in a matter of only 5 minutes. MONSTA X then continued the Clan series with Fighter. Hinting at the Netflix show Stranger Things, MONSTA X created a pumped up song you can listen to in the gym, if you go to the gym, unlike me. Again, MONSTA X claimed another award at MAMA 2016 with the Best of Male Artist. If you notice, MONSTA X won all the Next or the New Generation awards. When would MONSTA X compete at the top? The following year, MONSTA X featured in their own variety show called MONSTA X-Ray, kind of proving how much of a meme machine the group is. I'm sure you know by now. Next up would be MONSTA X's biggest release to date. Beautiful is too beautiful to handle, a dreamy sound that swept more than just moon babies off their feet. This new album debuted in the top spot on Billboard's World Album Chart and remained there for 1 week. Unable to stop MONSTA X, they continued to claim top spots in Billboard's Heat Seekers chart and World Digital Songs chart. Not only that, but MONSTA X sold over 1,000 copies of The Clan The Final Chapter in 1 week in the US. That may not seem like a lot, but for a relatively new, still up-and-coming group from this small peninsula of Korea, it's still a huge milestone. Starship saw the international potential of their boy group and signed to have MONSTA X debut in Japan, dropping Japanese versions of their hits Stuck and Hero. Returning to Korea, MONSTA X began promotions for the repackaged version of their latest album with the release of the song shine forever. Armed with this new comeback, MONSTA X packed their bags for their first world tour, spanning Asia, Europe, the Americas, and putting on an award-winning show for tons of fans. But MONSTA X were nowhere near done. Dramarama is such an iconic era for MONSTA X, and it helped them claim what every successful group needs: their first win.
몬스타 X 축하드립니다. 네, ท็스트 초이스의 몬스타 X 소감 들어볼게요.
MONSTA X kicked off 2018 with having the honor of carrying the torch for the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics, and was back in action mainly focusing on Japanese promotions and a second world tour, until gracing K-pop once again at the end of the year with Shootout. Aside from moving like my phone does on vibrate, Shootout was another breakout hit for the boys, continuing their surge to the top. Now on to this year, 2019, which is actually a huge expansion year for MONSTA X. Alligator marked a new era. It was gritty and ruthless. I mean, take a listen. And as someone from Florida, let's just make this our state anthem. Can we get that passed? At the same time, Starship was making moves. MONSTA X teamed up with Steve Aoki to release Play It Cool. I usually don't like when K-pop groups go all English and release a song to appeal to the American audience, but man, Play It Cool is so clean and catchy. Oh, this marked a major campaign to bring MONSTA X to the United States to officially debut. Signing with the major US label Epic Records, MONSTA X appeared on US television in person and in cartoon form.
둘, 셋, 호! 몬스타 X! 안녕하세요, 몬스타 X입니다. 안녕하세요.
Continuing to focus on this new market, MONSTA X had another collab in store, Who Do You Love, with rapper French Montana. All of MONSTA X music for the Western market are a MONSTA X we haven't really seen. More relaxed and smooth, and it just works. MONSTA X were making history as one of the handful of K-pop acts that even made the jump to America. Everything seemed like it was set for success. MONSTA X are booked for the iHeartRadio Jingle Ball Tour and numerous big appearances, yet all of it could be in jeopardy as controversy broke. Tons were blindsided by the announcement that member Wonho would be leaving the group, and people wanted to know why. Wonho allegedly owed a past friend he lived with $27,000 for rent and money he borrowed. He only paid her back nearly $2,000. That, along with a slew of other accusations, led to his departure. Wonho himself wrote a letter apologizing for causing such trouble and for his mistakes in the past, and he decided to leave to not affect his group. All we have right now are these messages and DMs from people with no real facts yet. It sadly isn't just that, as a leader of MONSTA X had his own accusations. Shownu was allegedly seeing a married woman, with numerous fake photos being spread. Starship Entertainment was quick to respond, saying Shownu has been seeing this woman but had no idea she was married. Now, all of this is still new and being sorted out whether it's true or not, but fans are against Wonho's removal. So against it, in fact, that they started posting notes on Starship's building in support for Wonho, organized a silent protest, signed petitions, and raised money for a billboard ad in support of MONSTA X and Wonho. Now, can this all be fixed? Will Starship go back and accept Wonho into the group? There are close to 0 times where a K-pop company goes back and change their stance on a member leaving a group. Will Shownu also have to face possible termination of his contract? Who knows? It is still a developing story, but this has dealt a big damage to MONSTA X, who had just released a new album just days before this controversy. MONSTA X are a huge part of Starship, and why they didn't stand with Wonho and maybe help pay the debt and help him is beyond me. It is still saddening to see that there is no loyalty when it comes to artists and labels, but that isn't surprising. While Wonho isn't perfect, we all have done something we are proud of and should be criticized for, but he did what he could and apologized. I do hope MONSTA X can carry on like they have been and continue to be a leading name in K-pop around the globe.
언젠가 모든 것을 다 잃는다고도 눈부신 우리가 있고 그 어떤 것도 두렵지 않다.
That's it for me, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. And what do you think about the whole MONSTA X controversy, I guess? As of right now, this is what I know, and if there's any new information that comes out, please let me know and update me down in the comments. Shout out to all the moon babies showing support for MONSTA X and the group and Wonho, and it's incredible to see a fandom be so caring even though the label isn't. If you're new, please hit that subscribe button and that bell so you get notified whenever I upload a new video, including the What Happened series, and you get to join the wave gang. Also, big shout out to my patrons. I want to do something new for patrons. I am working on it a little bit and gonna try to have more benefits and more rewards for people that support me on Patreon. But if you just want to support, head over to Patreon. It'll help this channel big time and help make more videos possible. And limited edition wave merch still available. Go ahead and get yourself one. It will help me, help the channel. It's just a way to support and wear something nice. Actually, damn it. No, I didn't watch it yet. If you want to see more, click one of these videos over here, including what happened to G-Dragon now that he's out of the military and what happened to Luna. Both are interesting and you'll definitely learn something. But anyways, guys, that's it for me. Hope you enjoyed this weekend and extended weekend if you're in America for Veterans Day. Shout out my veterans out there, and thank you for your service, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Annyeong.